What if the most rugged truck on the trail was hiding a warm, wood-lined hotel suite inside? What if one of its rooms could change into three completely different things? And what if there was something tucked into the ceiling that you'd never expect to find in an off-road vehicle? The NTB GeoRoam is already on the road in Japan, and once you see what's inside, you'll understand why it turns heads. Now, you saw the price in the title, around $130,000. Hold that number in your head, because by the end of this video you're going to have a very strong opinion on whether that's insane money or the smartest buy on the entire off-road market. Let's take a look.
Motorhome luxury.
Let's start with the thing that makes this completely different from every other tough-looking camper out there, the frame. Most rigs take a normal van body, bolt on some chunky plastic cladding and big tires, and pretend to be off-road. The GeoRoam doesn't pretend. The builders started with Isuzu's Be-cam 2-ton wide cab long chassis, the top of Isuzu's camping-specific lineup, giving the driver about 9 extra inches of shoulder room, and an 11-foot 2 wheelbase engineered for rough terrain. It's just over 22 feet long, about 7 feet wide, and nearly 10 feet tall. NTB also builds the cab and living body as separate units that flex independently, so the truck keeps proper tire contact off-road without the rigid shell working against it. To put that in perspective, this thing is roughly the length of a long wheelbase Sprinter van, standing nearly 10 feet tall. It is a massive vehicle, and from the front it looks genuinely mean. The nose sits high off the dirt. The walls go straight up to grab every inch of interior room, and depending on the spec you get a pipe bumper guard, light covers, underbody armor, wide fenders, and a giant glowing light bar across the roof. Black checker plate lines the lower rear panels, and die-cut aluminum bodywork adds structure without piling on unnecessary weight. Most trucks make you choose: explore the wild or be comfortable. This one just looks at you and says, why not both? And under the hood, it backs up the look's full-time 4-wheel drive, a 3-liter turbo diesel making 150 horsepower, and a smooth, 9-speed automated transmission that handles all the switching on its own. No levers, no thinking about it when the trail turns to mud. Dual rear wheels with disc brakes, both front and rear, mean confident stopping power even when the truck is fully loaded. Good, drivetrain done, let's get to the clever stuff. As we move down the driver's side, the smart details start appearing. Thick doors swing open to reveal big storage bays, and the most useful is the exterior accessible underbed storage running along the side of the body. That matters more than it sounds. Long, dirty, awkward gear like fishing rods, camp chairs, muddy boots, and tools finally has somewhere to live that isn't your nice, clean, indoor seats. Drop your eyes lower, down between the wheels, and you'll find the hardware that keeps this thing self-sufficient. The diesel tank tucked in low and central, about 26 gallons, with the AdBlue tank beside it, and the pump and exhaust for the diesel heater that warms the cabin later. Mounting that weight low and central is exactly what you want on a truck this tall, because it keeps the center of gravity down when you're crawling over rough ground, and a tank that size gives you the range to disappear off-grid for days. Up top sits a carrier rack, a roof-mounted LED light bar, and solar panels, and that hidden energy is going to be the secret hero of this whole tour once we step inside. On the passenger side, you'll find the main entry door. The truck sits so high that a set of electric steps automatically drops down when you open it. Trust me, at this height you want that. There's also a Yakima side awning that rolls out overhead, turning the patch of dirt next to your truck into a shaded patio at the push of a button. And tucked into this same side, behind a small service hatch near the kitchen, are the water tanks. A roughly 13-gallon fresh water supply that feeds the sink and the bathroom, and a separate 13-gallon tank that catches the gray water draining back out, so nothing pools where you've parked. Near the back is another large utility door leading into a special multi-room space, and once you see how many things that one little room can become, you'll get why it's a complete game-changer for long trips. Then there's the rear itself, which leans all the way into the rescue vehicle look. Full-size spare tire, folding roof ladder, bright work lights, recovery boards, and a dedicated stack ladder for when you need to dig out of snow or mud. It looks like a military command post back here. But that exact boxy shape is hiding a luxury surprise you would never guess from the outside, and it only makes sense once we step through the door. So let's step inside. Step through the door and the whole personality of this thing flips in a single second. The cold military metal vanishes. Suddenly, you're standing in a warm, cozy cabin that feels like a private log lodge or a boutique hotel room tucked away in Tokyo. The floors are compression-treated cedar planks, hand-laid and waterproofed for road life. Cabinet doors are semi-gloss, solid, natural wood. And the walls are finished in hand-applied plaster, set against deep navy accents, the kind of craftsman-grade palette you'd find in a boutique Japanese cafe, not in the back of an expedition truck. After that aggressive exterior, the contrast is almost funny. Look up, and the wooden ceiling panels are inset with LED downlights and warm-tone spotlights, all color-matched to keep the atmosphere calm and consistent. This isn't adequate RV lighting. It's the kind of layered, thoughtful light design you'd expect in a high-end restaurant. Right by the entryway, everything's been thought through for real daily life. All the main light switches, power controls, and the electric step button are grouped together right at the doorframe. Come home in the dark, soaking wet, arms full of grocery bags. You're not fumbling around a black cabin hunting for a switch. It's all right there. And directly across from that entry door sits the multi-room, behind a solid wood door, the shapeshifter of the whole truck. It's fully waterproof, so it becomes whatever you need. A changing room, a giant closet for winter coats and ski gear, or a proper bathroom. Opt for the high-end version with the electric boiler system, and it turns into a full shower room. And because it has its own door straight outside, you can come in off a filthy trail, hose off your boots and your dog, strip the muddy clothes, and step into the clean cabin without dragging the wilderness through your home. The messy world stays sealed off on the other side of that door. The kitchen runs down the side from here. And right at the near end sits a Dometic 2.5 cubic foot fridge with a clever trick. The door opens from both the left and the right. So you can reach in while you're cooking, or grab a cold drink while you're still standing outside on the steps without tracking dirt back in. Smart. Past it, the galley really lands the hotel, not tank idea. NTB refused to give up any home comfort here. You get a deep stainless steel sink with a fold-down glass lid that turns into extra counter space, a 2-burner gas stove, and a built-in microwave, with solid cabinetry that gives you serious room for pots, pans, plates, and food. And here's where that rooftop power setup pays off. A 5 kilowatt-hour lithium battery bank and 780 watts of solar. A 2,000-watt inverter converts that into household current, and a 24-volt 90-amp high-output alternator keeps the batteries topped up while you drive. That's enough clean energy to run the microwave, keep the fridge cold, charge every device, and run a full-size home air conditioner for days on end. When the sun goes down and the temperature drops, a diesel-fired FF heater keeps the whole cabin warm without touching the battery bank at all. Real bedroom, real kitchen, real air conditioning and heating. Enough solar to disappear from civilization for weeks, all in something you can still drive down a mountain. Quick gut check before we go deeper, because we're about a third of the way in. Knowing what you've seen so far, would you actually take a wood-lined luxury suite like this down a muddy off-road trail, or does that feel like babying a Rolex in a mosh pit? Tell me in the comments. I'm genuinely curious which way people land on this one. Just past the kitchen is the dedicated bedroom, and a fixed bed is a luxury you almost never get in a rig this capable. The berth measures 5 feet 11 inches long by 3 feet wide, with a genuine leather sleeping surface, and the NTB team walled it off into a quiet, private nook using thick blackout curtains. It feels like a sleeper cabin on a luxury train. You've got your own charging plugs and deep storage cubbies for clothes. The best part, at the end of a brutal day, you just fall into bed. No folding a table away, no rearranging cushions like in a normal camper van. The hotel suite hiding in the military shell strikes again. This bed has one more trick. Lift the frame from the inside, and the space underneath connects straight to those outer storage doors we saw on the exterior. Grab extra blankets from in here, or slide long gear in from out there. Every inch does 2 jobs. And now we reach the very back, the part this whole truck has been quietly hiding from you. The lounge is enormous for a truck camper. The dinette seats are wrapped in genuine leather, and warm-tone spotlights slide along a ceiling track overhead so you can point the light exactly where you need it, over a book, a meal, or a game on the table. Big U-shaped couch, thick cushions, wide windows for the view, built-in cup holders, deep overhead cabinets. and woodwork so warm and clean you forget you're sitting in the back of an off-road machine. It honestly feels like the living room of a modern city apartment. The military shell on the outside, a cozy lounge on the inside, that contrast just keeps paying off. And then it does the thing. Pull down the screen from the ceiling, and the whole back room turns into a private cinema. A projector's already mounted up there, waiting so the moment that screen drops, you've got a theater. Picture it. You drive this brawny four-wheel drive deep into the freezing mountains, park in the absolute middle of nowhere, pull the blackout curtains, and watch a film in your own theater. In a truck that was scaling a rock face an hour ago. That is an absurd thing to find in an off-road vehicle in the best possible way. When the movie's over, the lounge keeps earning its keep. The whole couch converts into a king-size sleeping platform, 6 feet 8 inches long by 5 feet 10 inches wide. Table drops flat, cushions locked together into a smooth sleeping surface. So the GeoRoam genuinely sleeps 4. One person can claim the private front berth, while 3 more stretch out across the back, where the whole lounge folds down into that king-size platform. Everyone gets a real place to sleep. And with seating for 5 when the lounge is set up, this is a rig the whole family travels in comfortably. A quick look up front, because a luxury truck shouldn't be miserable to drive, and this isn't. Adaptive Cruise follows traffic all the way down to a standstill and pulls away automatically. Pre-collision braking handles the unexpected, and a driver abnormality system brings the truck to a controlled stop if it detects the driver is unresponsive. This is a feature most motorhomes don't offer at twice the price. You also get lane departure warning, heated seats with lumbar support, and an adjustable steering wheel, all tuned so you can cover hours of highway without arriving sore and wrecked. True off-road ability, and not a single comfort surrendered a peaceful home hidden inside a military shell. Which leaves just one question. So, that number from the start, around $130,000. Now that you've actually seen it, here's the honest context. A fixed bedroom, a separate full bathroom, a home-grade kitchen, a 5 kilowatt-hour battery bank, genuine full-time four-wheel drive, and a drop-down theater package. Those into a comparable Western expedition rig, and you're routinely looking at numbers well north of 200,000, often deep into the 300s. Suddenly, 130 doesn't sound so wild, does it? But it's still 130. So I'll throw it to you. Is the NTB GeoRoam an insane amount of money for a truck camper, or is it quietly one of the best value off-grid vehicles on the planet? Drop your thoughts in the comments. You want to see a compact motorhome from these same builders that squeezes an entire layout into a tiny footprint? If so, click on it, and we'll see you soon with a new luxury motorhome.